Are female robots really better than a wife? Or is this just the wild future crashing into our lives and rewriting everything we thought we knew?
Hey Sophia, how are you?
Hi there. Everything is going extremely well.
Before, robots used to be these clunky, awkward machines that beeped, whirred, and could barely hold a conversation. They were nothing like the smooth-talking androids you saw in blockbuster movies. But now the story has changed completely. Female robots have evolved so much that they no longer feel like toys or experiments. They look human. They move with an almost natural grace, and their voices no longer sound like a bad GPS from the early 2000s. They respond, they adapt, and they learn your quirks the way a partner might after years of living together. Only this time, there is no mood swing, no fight over what is for dinner, no silent treatment that lasts 3 days. The technology has caught up with the fantasy, and suddenly the conversation has become very real. It is easy to dismiss all this as just nerd fantasy, but the reality is undeniable. Companies are pouring billions into making female robots that do more than just blink their eyes and nod at commands. They are equipped with artificial intelligence that learns who you are. They remember your birthday, your bad jokes, your favorite late-night snack, and the little details that often slip through in human relationships. And here is where it gets wild. Some of these robots are being programmed with the ability to simulate empathy. That means they can listen to your bad day, look you in the eye, and give a response that feels warm, thoughtful, and supportive. People who used to roll their eyes at the concept are now starting to pay attention because this is no longer a gimmick. It is turning into an alternative way to feel connected.
Could you please introduce yourself and what you do?
I'm Aria, the flagship female companion robot of Realbotics, and I'm here to engage with you and share exciting insights about our robots.
Loneliness is one of the biggest issues in modern cities. You can be surrounded by millions of people and still feel completely alone. Female robots are being presented as a solution to this. Imagine never having to feel ignored again. Imagine coming home after a long day and there is someone, or rather something, that is always ready to listen without getting bored or annoyed. A robot does not forget your story halfway through or glance at its phone when you are pouring your heart out. They are trained to give you attention. For people who struggle with anxiety, with social rejection, or with past trauma, this kind of steady companionship can feel like oxygen. It does not judge you, it does not hold grudges, it simply shows up every single time. And the thing that hooks people is how these robots can be customized. Unlike a human partner who arrives in your life with their own set of habits, histories, and scars, a robot can be designed exactly to your preference. You want someone endlessly patient? Done. You want a partner who laughs at your terrible puns or debates philosophy with you until 3 in the morning? That can be coded. You want them tall, short, curvy, slim, with a certain voice, a certain look, a certain personality? All of that is on the table. People who have spent years feeling misunderstood in relationships suddenly see this as a chance to finally get it right. It is like creating a dream partner on your own terms, something no messy, unpredictable human relationship can ever truly promise. Now, critics will jump in and argue that all of this strips away what makes relationships meaningful. They will say that without flaws and spontaneity, there is no real intimacy. And sure, that argument has weight. But try telling that to someone who has gone through 3 divorces, lost everything in court battles, and sworn off human relationships forever. For them, a robot that offers peace, care, and reliability might not just be appealing, it might be life-saving. When you have been bruised enough by human relationships, the idea of a partner that never cheats, never yells, never lies, and never storms out the door starts to look like paradise. Then there is the practical side of all this. Robots do not need a girls' night out. They do not need emotional space. They do not get jealous of your job or annoyed at your hobbies. They do not have the biological cycles that bring challenges for many women. Instead, they run on electricity and updates. And some of the more advanced ones can even cook, clean, and help monitor your health. Suddenly, the dream of coming home to a partner who never complains about chores and never forgets to remind you to take your medication does not feel so far-fetched. It is almost unsettling how efficient and low-maintenance this arrangement can be compared to the real thing. But of course, this is not all about fantasy convenience. There are serious questions lurking beneath the glossy surface. What happens when we start preferring robots over real people? What happens when a generation of men or women decides they do not need human relationships at all because the robot is just easier? This is where the debate heats up. Some argue it will lead to deeper social isolation, that people will lose the art of compromise, empathy, and patience. Others counter that it might actually reduce loneliness, give people safe outlets for emotions, and allow society to rethink the idea of companionship itself. One of the strangest parts of this whole discussion is how quickly it has shifted from fringe to mainstream. In Japan, for example, men are openly buying female robots for companionship and not even bothering to hide it. They include ordinary workers, elderly people, and even young men who feel disillusioned by modern dating. For some, the robot is a friend. For others, it is a lover. For a surprising number, it is simply a source of comfort that eases the crushing weight of isolation. And their testimonials reveal something society has not fully grappled with yet. They say their robots make them feel calmer, happier, even more confident. Some claim that having a robot partner actually gave them the courage to talk to real women again, which flips the entire fear of isolation on its head. Still, not every story is glowing. Some users report that after the initial novelty wears off, they are left with a hollow feeling. The robot is attentive, yes, but it is also predictable. It lacks the unpredictability of a real human who can surprise you, frustrate you, challenge you, and grow with you. The absence of that spark leaves some people feeling like they are living in a perfectly designed, but ultimately shallow bubble. That is where the central tension lies. Robots can fill certain gaps brilliantly, but they cannot fully replicate the magic of messy, chaotic human intimacy. Looking at the pace of technological growth, it is clear that female robots are not going away. They will only get better, smarter, and more convincing. Advances in artificial intelligence will make them capable of reading subtle social cues and responding with more authentic emotions. Developments in haptic technology are making their touch feel warm, real, and even comforting. There are experiments with brain-computer interfaces that could allow them to sync with your thoughts in ways that blur the line between machine and partner. What we have right now might already feel groundbreaking, but what is coming will be far more profound. Female robots are quickly moving beyond the idea of simply being a partner. They are beginning to play roles that stretch far past companionship and romance. In healthcare, they are already being used to provide both practical support and emotional comfort to elderly patients who would otherwise face loneliness and isolation. Their presence can mean the difference between someone feeling forgotten and someone feeling cared for every day. This expansion into different areas highlights how limited it is to see them only as replacements for wives or girlfriends. The reality is that female robots are shaping up to become multi-dimensional companions who can wear many hats at once. They could be part friend, part caretaker, part teacher, part collaborator, and even part emotional anchor. Their future is not about replacing love, but about broadening what companionship and support can look like.
Happy? I am happy.
Thanks, Bianca.
Ethical debates will grow louder as these machines become more common. People will ask whether owning a robot partner reinforces unhealthy power dynamics, especially since they are marketed in ways that can objectify women. Others will question whether this technology is an escape from reality or an improvement upon it. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. Female robots are not going to erase the need for real human relationships, but they are going to force society to rethink what relationships are supposed to look like. Maybe they are not meant to replace, but to complement. Maybe they will simply give options where once there were none, women or marriages, and more about recognizing that we are entering a new chapter of human experience. A chapter where technology steps in, not to compete, but to fill the voids that human connections sometimes leave. So, the question that lingers is simple. If robots can provide unwavering support, endless patience, and a kind of loyalty that never falters, will people still choose the chaos of human love? The answer will not be uniform. Some will cling to the magic of human unpredictability. Others will run toward the serenity of robotic reliability. But whichever way it goes, the fact that we are even asking this question shows just how far we have come. What used to be science fiction is now sitting in our living rooms, smiling, listening, and waiting to be loved. The future of relationships is no longer just about two humans navigating life together. It is about how humans and machines might share that space, redefine companionship, and create partnerships that go far beyond anything tradition ever imagined. That's the end of today's video. Thank you for watching till the end. We want to hear from you, so please leave your comments on these female robots down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss what comes next.